Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 8 of Division 1 for the 2021 Autumn Battlefield Cup. We have a very special round for you today. NSS unfortunately couldn't field a full team, so we do have the Bullet Magnets, or the BMs as they will affectionately be known as from here on out. Showing up for BM today, we've got Fierce Odin, Straw Hat Joel, Way of J, Tomo or Tomus, and Twiggy, whereas Bear will be going with Daddy Saundo, Lieutenant Keanu, OCE Floki, Salty AU, and Viper Sphere. I am Old Doc Satan, here to shoutcast game number 8. We are going to go at the 20-minute mark, so we've got about 10 seconds, and it'll be all-out war on Lofoten Islands today. As we do have some players starting to spawn on in. We've got the BMs coming from that alpha side over there. And as we see Fierce Odin rushing straight onto that alpha objective, and if we have a quick look over at the Bears, you've got Lieutenant Keanu and Salty rushing onto that B point with Viper Sphere pushing up on the rear as well. So this will be a tough game for the BMs today, coming up against Bear, who have been training and practicing like crazy. As we do see Tomo and Twiggy trying to push in on Viper Sphere. They're holding off with his medic weapon as Salty AU goes down to Straw Hat Joel, who has managed to get onto that Bravo point by the looks of it. Takes down Lieutenant Keanu as well, and does look like the BMs are going to get onto that Bravo point early on. So bit of a surprise out the gate there, as we do see OCE Floki coming up the rear of Straw Hat Joel there. Straw Hat just taking a knee up in the top corner there by the looks of things, with Tomo coming around the dock side. Floki looks like he tried to throw a bit of a burning grenade there and didn't quite get past the building, as Lieutenant Keanu and God Salty come rushing up with OCE Floki running around the red house side there, and does look like Bear are going to overrun that Bravo objective and regain that 2-cap. However, they are also on the Alpha objective with Daddy Saundo, as OCE Floki does go down to Fierce Odin with that fierce Bren gun. Way of J just holding up the rear there, and Daddy Saundo just has been... Is he taken out, or is he laying prone there? He's laying prone, just hiding in the corner there. If you don't move, you can't see me. As we do see he's got some teammates in Lieutenant Keanu there, and Viper Sphere pushing into the Alpha objective as well, as Twiggy and Way of J try and hold off on that left-hand side, and does look like Keanu does take down Straw Hat Joel, as Twiggy comes into the window, only to be met by Keanu's ZK383. So we do have the BMs holding on for dear life on that Alpha objective, as the Bears do have Bravo and Charlie fairly well secure, with God Salty and Viper Sphere just hanging on to that Bravo point, making sure that the BMs can get nowhere near him. And we do see Floki just taking some shots from those mid silos there, and we've got Straw Hat and Twiggy trying to come around the White House, with Viper Sphere just trying to hang on there, picking up Keanu, and it does look like Way of J and Fierce Odin are just hanging on to that mountain over there, and might be about time for them to push up, I believe, if they're going to try and regain that 2nd cap. As we do have Viper Sphere, Lieutenant Keanu and Salty. Looks like they're going to make a little push into Alpha, or are they just going to hold there? No, it looks like they're just going to hold there. They don't want to rush up at this point of the game. It is still early stages, with 129 tickets playing 147. There's still plenty of time left in this game. If the BMs can make a quick movement towards the left-hand side, they may actually be able to get up to that Charlie objective. As we do have Floki just holding them off at the guard tower there, and as Viper Sphere takes down Straw Hat Joel, picking up Lieutenant Keanu again. Bit of deja vu there, as the BMs are looking just to reset themselves over there, as Tomo getting the revive off on Fierce Odin. As we do have Lieutenant Keanu pushed into that Alpha objective, however, Twiggy has rushed in and managed to push them back a little bit for now, as Viper Sphere takes out Twiggy, and we do have Salty just pushing up on that rock over there. And getting the rev off again. It's Viper Sphere on Lieutenant Keanu. Lieutenant Keanu, I think, is going to have to buy Viper Sphere a beer after this one. as we do have Fierce Odin just trying to hang on. But Lieutenant Keanu and Viper Sphere have managed to clear the Alpha objective with the assist from Salty AU just sitting on that rock, picking off Fierce Odin there. And we do now have a triple cap. The Bears have taken the BMs to town and managed to gain the triple cap. And we all know that Lofferton Islands is an incredibly difficult map to get out of the triple cap on, as the BMs are going to try to do a bit of a waterside push by the looks of it with Straw Hat Joel and Tomo and Fierce Odin. It looks like Wave J has broken through and he's going the long side, but we do have Salty AU sitting up in the building there, just waiting for Wave J to push in and jump in on Wave J there, takes out Salty AU, and the BMs have managed to get onto that Bravo objective, as we do see now he's got some company coming with Lieutenant Keanu taking him out, and Tomo has been taken out as well, as Viper Sphere and Lieutenant Keanu rush back in to regain control of that Bravo objective. And it looks like the BMs have been wiped off the map. So they are pushing in again from their spawn. Fierce Odin trying to jink and jank his way around. Does get taken out by Daddy Saundo. As OC Floki, Lieutenant Keanu just firing shots from afar into that Alpha objective. We do have Twiggy and Tomo just pushing up on the high road side there. But Daddy Saundo is watching that truck like a hawk and not letting anybody get through that in that way. Wave J does look like he's making a bit of a break for it down on the outside water side again, and maybe he'll get through like he did last time, but we got Salty holding onto that rock there, and he does get distracted by Viper and Lieutenant Keanu there and drop some shots in. They'll know he's here now, so he'll, although they didn't seem to turn around there, as he does drop Viper Sphere, Lieutenant Keanu's gone to pick Viper straight back up. And we do have the BMs, they're looking pretty desperate at the moment, with 39 tickets playing 146, as Wave J just gets absolutely smashed there by Lieutenant Keanu with a little bit of an assist from God Salty. And Twiggy is now just waiting for his team to spawn in on him, as Straw Hat Joel and Tomo come up behind him with Fierce Odin. Looks like they're going to go for another little push on that water side there, and we have a quick look over here. Daddy Saundo looks like he's just having a cup of tea at that truck there, just waiting for someone to push at him. Takes a few long shots, just waiting to see what he can see. Peeking out with his 3 times. There he is, Daddy 3 times, living up to his name. Taking the long shots, nails Fierce Odin with that Lewis gun, as Wave J is dropping shots into that Alpha objective, with OC Floki just holding him behind the yellow house there, and Lieutenant Keanu holding the rocks. There just seems to be absolutely no way through for the BMs at the moment. Perhaps they need to take some Imodium and see if they can slide through a little bit faster. As we do have... looks like Wave J and Fierce Odin just trying to pepper Daddy Saundo on that truck there, but it was a little too late, as the Bears do come out winners at 146-0. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a little bit of a break. If you can hear that lawnmower in the background, I do apologise. Unfortunately, can't control the neighbours in this neighbourhood. We'll see you in 1 moment. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is map number 2 for Game 8 in the Battlefield 5 Autumn Cup Division 1. I am Old Doc Satan. We are here on the Fiel map as the BMs will be coming up against Bear. This is just an exhibition match, ladies and gentlemen, as NSS unfortunately were not able to field a full team today and have borrowed Tomo from the OWD platoon in order to put on this exhibition match and give the Bears a bit of a run through, as Straw Hat Joel, Way of J and Tomo are now pushing straight up onto that Bravo objective, but they are going to be met by Salty, Viper Sphere and Lieutenant Keanu, as OCE Floki now rushes up onto that point as well after cleaning up Way of J. And the Bears have rushed straight onto Bravo, although Floki is by himself there with Twiggy, Straw Hat Joel and Tomo pushing up. He does take out Straw Hat Joel, but he does get taken down by Twiggy, and looks like the BMs are they're up for the fight. They're going to push hard and retake that Bravo objective, as we do have Daddy 3 times over up on the Alpha objective. No doubt Lewis Gunn and 3 times, although he looks like he is going to throw a few grenades over at the Alpha objective. And the Bears have rushed back up on Bravo in the meantime and have managed to wipe Tomos and Twiggy out, and the Bears are now retaking Bravo objective. And we do have Fierce Odin just hiding in the greenhouse there, or just below the greenhouse, as Salty tries to rush in. Floki takes a charge into the Charlie objective, but does get taken out by Straw Hat Joel, even though he did take out Tomos first. Salty is now cleaned up in that greenhouse, and we do have Viper Sphere and Lieutenant Keanu rushing in the right side of Charlie. As Straw Hat Joel goes down, Fierce Odin is down as well. Way of J is just trying to make sure that the point isn't completely empty, as the res is picked up on Way of J. Straw Hat Joel takes out Lieutenant Keanu. And looks like the BMs are going to try and maintain control of that Alpha Charlie objective, with OCE Floki being the last man up, just getting into the building there and dropping some shots. And if we just jump in, and we see that Tomo there does manage to get a few shots off, but not before being taken out by Salty. And we just jump in on OCE Floki here as he tries to peek his way around the house. And you can see there from the outlines that there is plenty of BMs in that house at the moment, as he does take some shots, knocks out Way of J, and he's just been a bit of a thorn in the BM side by the looks of it, as they don't know where he is. They're all running around the house, and he's just running around the outside. But he does get some assistance now from Salty, as Salty jumps in, but does get dropped. Dropped by Tomus, my apologies, and we do have Tomus and Straw Hat Joel now just cleaning out that Charlie objective. So the BMs managing to hold on to that Charlie objective and preventing the triple cap, as we do have Twiggy, Tomus and Straw Hat Joel now making a bit of a push to the Bravo objective, which is being defended by God Salty and OCE Floki, with Viper Sphere and Lieutenant Keanu now bringing up the rear. And no doubt we'll find Daddy 3 times at the back of the map somewhere with his Lewis and 3 times scope. It certainly is a Lewis, and he does have a 3 times scope on it. Throwing out an impact grenade, seeing what he can pick up in those sandbags there. Not much doing, unfortunately, for him in that occasion, as we do have Viper Sphere just holding onto that Bravo objective there with Salty down. Floki's come up to support him, along with Lieutenant Keanu, and Straw Hat Joel's little push onto that Bravo objective, unfortunately, does not succeed, as Way of J just holding behind that greenhouse there. Is looks like he's using the old Bren gun. Oh, it's an FG42. Picking up some shots from afar, and does look like he's shooting through the corner of the building there. Gotta love the old Battlefield 5 spectator mode. And we do have Fierce Odin, Way of J and Straw Hat Joel just hanging on to that Charlie objective. They do not want to get into a triple cap, give themselves any chance of making a comeback in this match. They need to desperately avoid that triple cap. And we do have Lieutenant Keanu now. He's making a bit of a push. Tomos did see him coming and has taken him straight out. As if we just jump in on Fierce Odin there, we'll see he's just holding these corners there. Looks like he's got the Sturmgewehr using it to good effect, and also just trying to hold on to that Charlie objective. Takes out Daddy Saundo, beats the 3-time scope with a Sturmgewehr, sees his teammate down, doesn't look like he's going to try and even get the res, because he knows that if he runs out there, he is going to get clapped by Viper Sphere, OCE Floki, Lieutenant Keanu, and God Salty, as the Bears putting a bit of a 4-man push onto that Charlie objective now. The BMs are just holed up in that little house, hoping and praying that the Bears don't manage to get their way through, as we've got Twiggy, Tomu, Straw Hat Joel, and Way of J just hanging onto that house, and looks like we're going to have a bit of house-to-house action here if we just jump in on Salty there with his Sturmgewehr, and looks like he's just taken a knee as the rockets come through, and God Salty does get taken out by debris there. As if we just jump in on Tomo here, we'll see he's about to try and creep his way around the tree. Not much doing there, as Salty does get revived by Lieutenant Keanu, and the Bears are now making a solid push onto that Charlie objective, as Twiggy's down, Thomas is down, Lieutenant Keanu is now going up against Way of J with OC Floki coming around the other side. They do manage to pincer Way of J and Straw Hat Joel, and the Bears have gotten themselves onto the Charlie objective now, and it does look like Bear will move this into a triple cap. As we see now, Tomo and Twiggy are trying to make a bit of a low road push there, but Lieutenant Keanu and OCE Floki are wise to it, with Viper Sphere coming in for the assist as well. Twiggy is down. Tomo just holds back for the spawn from his squad mate, Straw Hat Joel, who does get the revive off on Twiggy, but Salty AU is also wise to the low road push, as OCE Floki drops down and drops Straw Hat Joel there. So Twiggy just trying to hold and wait for his team to either spawn back in on him or be able to get those revives off, as he rushes in and does get taken out by an impact grenade courtesy of Daddy Saundo there. And the Bears holding solid on this triple cap at the moment, as Fierce Odin, Way of J, Straw Hat Joel, and Tomo are going to try a high side push now, or a bit of a 4-man. I suspect they're just waiting for their 5th to drop in, and he's now in as well, and they're just going to storm onto that Charlie objective, but Bear has it well and truly covered. And we are sitting at 137 to 36, ladies and gentlemen. This will not last much longer, as the Bears do take a few hits there with Lieutenant Keanu and Viper Sphere going down, but they've got tickets to spare, so they're just going to bleed out. They're not going to wait. Get back in and keep defending that Charlie objective, as we do have Twiggy, Tomo making a push onto that Charlie objective. Lieutenant Keanu, Viper Sphere, and Daddy Saundo trying desperately to find them. Twiggy does go down. Tomo goes down as well, and that's the end of that little push there, as Bear is holding firm at 134 to 18. And 134 to 17. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be all over Red Rover in just a few seconds, as the BMs have failed to get away out of their spawn in this occasion. Daddy Saundo using that 3x lure scope to great effect. OCE Floki just having a little bit of a run at the back of the map there, exercising those legs and dropping some Piats over onto the Charlie objective. We do have the BMs pushing into Charlie, but again, too little too late, as we do have the Bears running out 130 to 0 winners. That is 2 games to 1 to the Bears, as the BMs will have to go back to the drawing board for the tiebreaker. We will see you in just a moment as we prepare for the next map. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I didn't just want to leave you all on that intermission screen for too long, so I thought we'd come and have a little bit of a chat while we wait for the server to be restarted. Folks, I want to hear your best BM jokes in the chat. What have you got for me? And thank you to our Supreme Commander, Mr. Noobalicious, for his 6-month resub. Supporting the OSINT community. Good to see a good turnout from the OSINT community in the chat today. Vegemite for life. Oh, exactly. Daddy Saundo. Marlo making an appearance. Welcome to Amper Vibes. Having a bit of a watch. Bobby Burchin, who absolutely caned it in the game earlier this morning. A Mizzle, and looks like we've got Chips in the chat as well. Come on, folks, I know you guys have got some good BM jokes. I want to see them popping up. Al Suspect, welcome. Al Suspect has been turning up to a few chats, and I think his identity is still a secret, Veggie. We're still trying to figure out who he is. Booty molesters. Wow, Ames coming out with the big guns straight up. Okay, looks like the server is back up, so I am just going to pop onto the intermission screen for one moment. Keep those BM jokes coming as we try and get back into that server. Ladies and gents, welcome back. We have the server back up, and our tiebreaker map will be on Province this evening. As we do have, we're just waiting on one last bear player to make his way through. Looks like we're waiting on Daddy 3 times. As he does jump in, but in the meantime we lose a BM. So we do have Odin, Straw Hat, Way of J, and Twiggy. We are just waiting on their 5th to make their way back in. And as usual, folks, we do have 1 out of every 5 Battlefield players suffering from premature spawnulation, as OC Floki has made his way onto spawn. And he is just sitting there having a bit of a look around, enjoying the peaceful scenery of the province map. As it does look like the bears will be coming in from that alpha side, which means the BMs will be coming in through Charlie. And will be interesting to see what happens on the Bravo point. Do we get all teams flooding in, or do we get them just popping Piats and rockets from a distance? And looks like the 23-minute mark has been called as the go slot, so we're about a minute away as the 5th BM has come in. So we do have a proper 5v5 waiting to go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 20 seconds away from all-out war here, as the BMs look to stiffen up and make amends for the first 2 maps, as Bear looks to absolutely assert their domination and make it a solid 3 from 3. As we just zoom in on Daddy Saunder there, as they're off and on their way. And looks like we've actually landed on Lieutenant Keanu, running with Viper Sphere all the way onto that Bravo objective. And we do have, looks like the BMs are going to try a little bit of a sneak. They're going to try and go for that Alpha objective straight off the bat, as we've got Straw Hat, Tomo, Fierce Odin and Twiggy pushing up that high road there. And unfortunately, OC Floki and Daddy Saunder have stopped them in their tracks, and it has meant that Lieutenant Keanu, Viper Sphere and God Salty have been able to just wander onto that Bravo objective completely unopposed. And they've realised that, and looks like they're going to start pushing straight up to that Charlie objective, as Fierce Odin is going to be sitting there, no doubt, with his Bren gun, with his AA sights, just waiting for them to come up from behind, as he knows that they surely will, as we do see those heads peeking and glitching over the wall there. Bit of a impact grenade going out, as Lieutenant Keanu and Viper Sphere have come up from the rear. Odin does nail Viper Sphere with that Bren gun. Way of J just holding back onto that Charlie objective, as Lieutenant Keanu knows he's outnumbered, waits for Salty to get the spawn off, and looks like Salty's going to do a little bit of a charge in by himself there. Doesn't go well, as we all know how lethal Fierce Odin can be with that Bren gun from a distance, as Lieutenant Keanu, Viper Sphere, both the medics up. They looks like they're going to pick up Salty up. They're going to wait. Salty has bled himself out. They're going to smoke up that Charlie objective and try and push through the smoke and see what they can get. Fires shots. Not sure what he's shooting at. He's just shooting. Takes out Way of J. And will take out Fierce Odin as well, as Viper Sphere gets the res off, and that'll be all she wrote on the Charlie objective. However, in the meantime, the BMs have made their way through to Alpha with Tomo and Straw Hat, Joel and Twiggy. They've capped the Alpha objective, but they've run straight off it, not realising that Daddy Saunder and OC Floki are just sitting on that church waiting. And Way of J and Fierce Odin now trying to take over the hold on the Alpha objective, as looks like nobody wants to get on it. Daddy Saunder just creeping out of the church there, realised that there was no one on the cap, takes out Fierce Odin. Floki comes back in. Daddy Saunder says, nope, I'm right, mate, I got this. I got my Lewis gun, I got my 3 times, I got my ammo crate. I will be able to recap this all by my lonesome. Takes a bit of damage from the impact grenade and eventually gets absolutely nailed by Way of J with that Bren gun. And looks like the BMs will retain control of the Alpha objective. Fierce Odin does get shot in the back by OC Floki there, and Straw Hat Joel coming up around the high side. Way of J does go down as well. Takes down OC Floki and manages to get the revive off on Way of J there, and they do hold on to that Alpha objective as we do see Tomo and Twiggy looking like they're trying to make a little bit of a split push on the Bravo. Tomo does go down, but Twiggy is coming up around the outside here. He's rather smartly just waiting for his... he's actually just going to skip right past Bravo, try and get the back cap onto that Charlie objective. We will see as Straw Hat Joel, Fierce Odin and Way of J have also made a push into that Charlie objective. Viper Spear is outnumbered though, does manage to take out Straw Hat, hides behind the trees but does go down to Twiggy coming up from the rear, and that'll be all she wrote on the Charlie objective. However, in the meantime, it looks like Daddy Saundo has managed to eventually get that cap off on the Alpha objective, and we will see the points just being traded there as Twiggy looks like he's coming down to make a push onto that Bravo objective as Straw Hat Joel gets the spawn in. Salty finding a little corner to lay prone in on the middle of the stairs there. Takes a few shots. Doesn't get him, but doesn't matter because Lieutenant Keanu has managed to clean up the kill there, and we do see now Bear holding on to the Alpha and Bravo objective, back to the way it was at the start, ladies and gentlemen, as the BMs are holding on to that Charlie objective. And if we have a look here, we've got Way of J just trying to make his way into a bit of cover there as Viper Sphere comes up from the rear. But it didn't matter because OCE Floki had him from the front anyway as Viper goes in and picks up his buddy there, and Lieutenant Keanu, once again, a bit of deja vu with Viper Sphere reviving Lieutenant Keanu. Definitely going to be owing the man a six-pack, not just a beer at the end of this one. As Straw Hat Joel now has made his way onto Bravo. There is someone on the Bravo objective, but he's just focusing on making sure he holds his position there. And not a lot going on there as we do try and get out of that window. And we do see Viper Sphere coming in to regain control of that Bravo objective. Takes out Twiggy and Tomo. God Salty and Lieutenant Keanu in support as well. The Straw Hat Joel just hanging around the rear there, waiting for his team to spawn in on him before he tries to make another push, but he does get spotted by Viper Sphere. Viper Sphere doesn't get his shots, gets taken down by Straw Hat, but Lieutenant Keanu now repaying the favour, picking up Viper Sphere after cleaning up Straw Hat Joel and maintaining control of that Bravo objective. As we do have Tomo and Twiggy trying to push out of their spawn here by the looks of it. In the meantime, Floki has managed to assist the cap on the Charlie objective, and the Bears have got a triple cap going there along with Daddy Saundo, who's just holding that top road there with his Lewis gun. As the BMs are all congested up here, just trying to decide what is the best way to go. Tomo gets absolutely cleaned up by Daddy Saundo and the Lewis gun. Way of J goes down. Fierce Odin is the last man up in there, but we do have Twiggy and Straw Hat Joel pushing the high side. They are in a 2v1 versus OCE Floki. Floki takes down Twiggy. Straw Hat pumping shots into Floki. Doesn't manage to get his shots though, and goes down as Viper Sphere was coming up for the backup, but not needed there as Floki absolutely owns Straw Hat. And we've got Fierce Odin now trying to do a little bit of a wide flanky-panky there, but Lieutenant Keanu is holding that spot. Lieutenant Keanu doesn't know he's there, has wandered off a little bit, but comes back just in time to see him and smashes him in the face there with the ZK383 as Twiggy is now trying to pick up the mantle there and take that wide side push as we do have Straw Hat Joel slip sliding around in the smoke there, dropping shots. But not actually connecting as we can see, ladies and gentlemen, the feed is just all blue at the moment as the Bears are absolutely dominating the BMs, and looks like this will be another quick one as we do see the tickets at 151 to 31, so Bear losing just 9 tickets so far in comparison to 134 tickets dropped by the BMs as They look to just reset themselves back on that Charlie objective. Figured we're going to let these guys come a little bit closer out of their spawners. Twiggy doing a bit of a run on his own there. Not sure where the rest of the team is. Oh, look at that. They've actually managed to slip past. They fooled not only Bear, but they fooled this commentator as well. And they've got themselves onto the Alpha objective. And looks like Way of J, Fierce Odin, and Straw Hat Joel have managed to break the triple cap. So well done to the BMs. That is an incredibly difficult thing to do on Province. And as we do see the Charlie objective getting flipped now, as Daddy Saunder has gone down, Tomo and Twiggy are on the Charlie objective. And for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, on this map, the BMs now have a 2-flag majority. Will it be too little too late at 145 to 13? We have seen some pretty big comebacks this season, ladies and gentlemen. Not sure we've seen one that big, as we do have the Bears rushing back onto that Charlie objective now. Tomo and Twiggy are going down. Daddy Saunder just regaining control of that. But in the meantime, the BMs have moved on to the Bravo objective. We still have Straw Hat Joel up as Viper Sphere, Lieutenant Keanu, and Salty AU are all after him. It's a 3v1, ladies and gentlemen. Straw Hat Joel running, slipping, sliding, trying to find some cover, trying to stay alive, get his team to spawn in on him as Lieutenant Keanu pops out and ends his little run, and Viper Sphere drops a few extra shots in at the end just to make sure of it. And they will maintain control of the Bravo objective as Daddy Saunder completes that cap on the Charlie objective, and Bear have regained their 2-flag majority as Way of J, Fierce Odin, and Twiggy hold on to that Alpha objective. And ladies and gentlemen, that'll be all she wrote. It's 140 tickets, plays 6, as Bear now making their way onto that Alpha objective with God Salty, Viper Sphere, OC Floki spawning in, and Lieutenant Keanu. That'll flip very fast. There's 3 tickets left for the BMs. They have regained Charlie, but it will be too little too late. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Bear running out 139 tickets to 2, 139 to 1. It'll be 139 to 0 in just a moment, folks. And that'll be all she wrote for this exhibition match. As BM do an incredible job to hold on to that 1 ticket. We are still going, and as we see Tomo going down, and there it goes, ladies and gentlemen. BM doing an incredible job to break the triple cap, actually get a double cap, hold the majority for a few moments there, however fleeting. That is an incredible effort for a team coming into Div 1 out of nowhere, filled with mostly Div 2 players, taking on the mighty Bears, who are going to be one of the contenders for Division 1 in 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our exhibition matchup today. We'll see you guys again at 6 p.m. Sydney time for the next game. Otherwise, you guys have yourselves a wonderful Saturday afternoon, and we'll see if Lieutenant Keanu lives up and drops a few beers over to Viper Sphere's house. Thanks for watching, guys. You guys have a great one.